what's up everybody? It's another week of SR Synth Weekly, and I'm, as usual, the Synth Redneck. We got some new stuff coming up. We got some couple of bands I've played before and got a lot of new stuff coming up today. So let's just dive right in and just get started. First up, we have a group out of UK, and it's an Outrun Synthwave group. The name of the band is Memory Future. The song I'm playing today is Laguna Sunset. Of course, you know, every Outrun Synthwave has to have some kind of sunset in it. It's a really great song. It kind of gives you that, there's a lot of feels you can do with this. This is your basic, you know, I want to call it a cop show kind of deal. You're kind of like kind of like Knight Rider kind of feel with it. I'm going to go with, you know, it's a tech cop show, just mainly the hero's shown moving around the scene montage. You know, he's solving crimes. It's kind of like a title sequence montage. That's kind of what it gives me. You know, like you have everybody and it shows the team up and they all form up towards the end of the song. That's kind of what it gives me. Also kind of gives me like one of those sci-tech shows. You know, where you see it being, you know, a bunch of new tech being created and all the progress of all the parts being built and all the team get together and just working out. Kind of gives me that. It kind of gives me that whole, you know, technology cop show, kind of like Knight Rider in a way, kind of like Misfits of Science type. It just gives me that vibe. So, like I said, check it out. It's my Memory Future, and the song is called Laguna Sunset. I mean, kind of gives you that vibe, doesn't it? You know, I like the cop movie title sequence, not cop movie, cop TV show, or you know where or a group is or a group of people are solving crime and you see them at the beginning and it gives all their names and everything. That's kind of more of the vibe I want to go for. Next up, we have the group. It's 1 of 4. That's actually the name of the group. They're a synth electronic band out of Texas. The song today is called Comet 01. They left me a cool, left me a cool description, and I'm gonna start there, and then I'll add mine. It's the journey of an unknown, massively old comet as it travels through space. I could only imagine all the planets, galaxies, and beings it's encountered in the cosmic brilliance. That kind of gave me, because it does give me that vibe of a whole space deal. It kind of gives me, I want to add a little bit more to it. Instead of the comet, I know the song's called Comet 01, but you know I like to add my little thing to it. It's space sequence where team is flying through the space, and it's kind of like a montage of the crew doing all the work, kind of like towards the semi-beginning of the movie, you know, where you start meeting them all, and they're all going through things as they're flying through space. It's kind of like a second scene, you know, where you see the main characters show up, and it's like you see them working through the, you know, you're getting to see a little bit of what they do as the spaceship flies through space, and you see all the planets going by. Kind of gives me that feel. Also, kind of gives me that it's also more of a fantasy too, where a group is. I chose this because I was seeing a trailer. I forget the name of the movie, but a new fantasy trailer. It kind of gives me where all the team is getting new powers, are learning new magic to defeat, you know, the evil or whatever they're doing, and it shows them all just gaining their powers and learning it in like a little montage sequence, and you know, it kind of gives you that whole little vibe of, you know, hey, we're learning new powers and we can finally defeat. It kind of gives me that vibe. I want to lean more towards the space, you know, the space beginning, but kind of both of them work for me. So definitely check it out. And make sure you follow all their social media as always. It's 1 of 4, and the song is called Comet 01. kind of gives you that vibe, doesn't it? It just, you know, I like the space feel more than the fantasy. What I was saying, it just kind of gives you that, you know, everybody's doing their job, and you know, you get to meet them at the second scene after the main, you know, exposition that they give you like 20 minutes before you get the main characters in. But like I said, it's a great song. Check them out. Check all their check their other links out, and all their other music is pretty cool. Next up, and I'm going to screw up this name, and I apologize ahead of time. It's Neontenic or Neontenic. I can't pronounce it right. The song today is called "The Factory." It's from their it's a debut single they have coming out of their late 2019. So we got a little while, but I checked out the rest of the music on their other sites. It's really awesome. This song is called "The Factory," and it kind of gives you that. It's kind of want to go horror sci-fi on it. It's like the factory's being built. It's kind of like one of those where the factory's built, and you see them has built new machines. You know, the machines are helping either the military or help you with, you know, your life and future, and it turns on everybody on the staff because of a programming glitch or something happens, and it turns on everybody, and everybody in the factory is getting, you know, murdered and everything else. It kind of gives you that feel. That's the main feel off of it. Also kind of gives me that, on that same note, it's kind of like a robotic Stalker movie, kind of like Nemesis. Not the Nemesis where the cyborgs are facing each other, but there's this movie called Nemesis back, I think, at 88, 89, where they created like a robot to help the military out, and it goes haywire and starts killing everybody in a small town, but it stalks them first. So that's kind of what it feels. It kind of gives me the robot is stalking them, you know, in the background, you know, learning about them before he kills them, and the main characters are trying to run and you know, run and hide from him while they're trying to get the exposition of what's going on. That's kind of what I get. It kind of gives me that that's a robot stalker, or you know, something's turned on them and it's chasing them. That's the vibe I'm getting. So definitely check it out. It's a Neontenic. I'm gonna go with that. And the song is called "Factory." I mean, doesn't it kind of give you that robot feel? I don't know. I mean, you could put anything. I just chose the robot sci-fi because I guess I have robots on the brain today. But that's just kind of what it gave me. So definitely check that out. Check out the rest of the music and get that album when it comes out later this year. Next up, I have Terrordyne, our old good friend here. I've already played them once before. I've got another song for him today. It's called Nightcrawler, which is kind of on the same note as The Factory. This is his second album currently in the works. It may be out by now. I completely forgot by the time of recording this. But this gives me that tech horror feel. You know, well, let me rephrase that. It's kind of like not really a tech horror, but just a you know, a cyber futuristic horror. Kind of like where everything is dystopian and the evil's actually facing. You know, evil has found his victim or someone he wants to, you know, either kidnap, take, or something. Kind of gives you that feeling. And they're stalking them the whole time. You know, they're seeing, you know, high above, or, you know, just stalking them where they don't know. You know, just following their everyday lives and stalking them. But that towards the middle of the song and towards the end of it kind of gives you that the main character suddenly realizes somebody's following them or somebody's after them. Kind of gives me that feel. Also, it gives me another setup where actually it could be the work the same way. The evil and the main character meet for the first time, but they have a history together. They've known each other for a while, but they meet first time in the movie and they realize, okay, here I am. And the evil character has, you know, gained power and has, you know, showing his power and showing just how more powerful he's gotten over the years, and then just starts going after the main character. Kind of gives me that feeling. I mean, as the evil chases him, I want to lean more towards the first one of, you know, the stalker kind of deal, but both work. Actually, could work in the same movie. You know, he's stalking one, and the main character and the other character meet. So definitely check it out. I'll have to double check and see if it's out, but but all of Terrordyne stuff is really awesome, so always check it out. The song is Nightcrawler, and it's by Terrordyne. I mean, I kind of like the Stalker, you know, where they don't know what they're meeting and it just meets that. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like I always say, I love to hear what you think of where it would fit and just what you think of the song. Let them know because that's what, you know, that's what the whole basis of the show is to give them exposure and let the fans connect back with them and let them know what they think of the song. Next up, we have, I'm always going to screw this name up. It's Electric MOUV. You'll see in the description. The song today is Van Damme, and I'm going to read his description because it kind of works. It's a day which you feel invincible and untouchable, a traveler of the past and of the future, totally unaware of the present. Kind of works for me, but I want to, as I was listening to this, I was watching a movie about it, and this kind of gives me that romantic scene where the two lovers meet on the beach in a club area, and they start to groove. You know, it kind of gives you that whole, they've met each other and they're starting to groove, and you see the montage of them together, you know, dating or on the beach or on the, you know, just pretty much together. And it just kind of, you know, just kind of builds on that. Also kind of gives me that, like, the main characters are driving to the surf side to, you know, towards the beginning of the movie to meet the others. And just, you know, you start to get the exposition, but that's the main theme of, you know, them driving. You know, it's kind of like a driving scene. Also kind of gives me, on a side note, it kind of gives me that tech movie, where it's not an evil movie, but it's like a kind of a tech movie where the programmers are building, you know, something good, like a good robot or something to help, and it kind of gives you that whole little montage of them, you know, going back and forth with the programming, and you see them doing that. I lean more towards the lover one, but all three would work. So definitely check it out. It's Electric MOUV. I hope I'm saying that right. And the song is called Van Damme. doesn't it kind of give you that kind of romantic feel? I don't know why I lead toward that, but you know, I can't do sci-fi and everything all the time. But it just kind of gives me that romantic lovers feel. So definitely check it out. I love all their music, and it's just a really good song together. So definitely check that out. Check the rest of it out. Like always, it's always linked in the description down below of all their social media. Make sure you're following them because you know they want your love as much as I do. Next up, we have, I'm going to screw this name up also. I hope I'm not. It's Brian Sangmeister. The song today that they gave me is Always on the Run. This is a really cool song. It kind of gives me so much going on. Kind of gives me that techno title sequence of a TV show. It's kind of like that tech adventure where the main characters are shown first. And, you know, it's like one of those weapon movies, you know, kind of like Nighthawk, you know, where the bike's the weapon, or another show where the main technology, you know, like a suit or something like that. It just kind of gives you that whole feel. And as the show progresses, you see them, you know, you see the suit coming in, you see the main characters, and kind of gives you that whole main character showing the, you know, they're showing off the suit in the main show, and as the team builds, and towards the end of the song, you know, the team's there and they move on. Also kind of gives me that, I'm calling it a tech fantasy. It's something a little different. They're kind of like searching, you know, kind of like a future where they have to like search scrolls or search a blueprint, and, you know, and then and then they find it mid-song and start building the, you know, whatever they're building, you know, the tech or the ancient weapon or whatever. And this is kind of like a, you know, a cyber dystopian kind of feel. And they start feeling it, and then towards the end of the song, you know, they test it and it works. So both of them work. Actually, they could be working in the same movie. You got big technology, but they need to find another technology to defeat the evil in this whole dystopian future, dystopian tech future. So. That's kind of what it gives me. So definitely check it out. I checked out a bunch of the music, and it's really awesome. So make sure you follow them and check out the music and download it. Again, it's Brian Sangmeister, and the song is called Always on the Run. So what did you think of that song? I mean, did it give you that, kind of, I like the technology, in a dystopian future kind of deal. That's just my genre that I love, and it kind of works on that, but there's so much that song could work with, as long as there's a lot of tech in it. So definitely check it out, and make sure you download it. I mean, that's what we're here for. Last up today, we have the group is called Flamingo Jones, and I hope I said that right. They're out of Hereford, UK, and the song is called Lately. I love the description, and I actually had to look it up. Let me read the description, then I'll explain. This is a synthwave inspired track with a kind of shoegaze vibe to it. It comes part of a short EP which he just released. I actually had to look up shoegaze, and that actually I didn't know about that, so something I have to get more into. Shoegaze, if you don't know, which most people do, I'm an idiot, so I don't. They call it dream pop. It's basically a subgenre of Indian alternative rock that emerged in the UK in about the 80s. It kind of gives you that space rock. It's like a mix of obscure vocals and guitar distortion. It kind of gives you that. It's like a synthwave meets pop, but not the synth pop type. So that was really cool. I didn't know that. And if you're wondering where I'm getting this, I looked it up on Google. But I didn't really know that. So that was a new one for me. So that was really awesome that he sent me that song, just to let me know what shoegaze is, because that's cool, because gives me something more to look for. This song kind of gives me that Better Off Dead vibe. If you've ever seen Better Off Dead, it's a really cool movie. It's really stupid, but those stupid romantic fun comedies are great. It's basically where the hero, I'm calling this one towards the end of the movie, where the hero, he's defeated the bully, bested the bully in there, because that's always what happens in these type movies. He's bested the bully or the rich kid or whatever, and he gets the lover, and they move off into the sunset together, or move off, they just basically leave the bully lying there, and it kind of gives it a whole sequence of events towards the end of the movie. Also kind of on that same thing, it's the hero's main theme. He kind of gives you, those movies at the beginning of those little comedy romance movies where, you get the main theme of the hero, and, you get to see at the beginning of the movie where he starts his day, and it's kind of like a quirky start of the day, kind of gives you that. I don't mean the song's quirky, I mean just the in the movie part. You see him working through his day and just going through it all, and it just works for me. I like that. I like the Better Off Dead deal just because I had that on the brain. Then it's a great movie. But definitely check it out. I like the song. I like the whole setup he gave me. So definitely check it out. Follow them on social media. As always, follow everybody on social media. Again, it's Flamingo Jones, and the song is called Lately.
Yes, I knew right from the start it was bound to fall apart. In my hands that know no science comes a strange form of defiance. First it comes and then it goes, but in the silence no one knows. From the sanctuary of the dark to dancing naked in the park. Lately I've been acting so crazy. I'm in my mind, but now lately nothing here seems to faze me. I'm coming down tonight. I know it's all just an illusion. I'm in another dimension, but I was born only human, and I'm coming down tonight. tall but sleep in dread. All these things were left unsaid. Will my hands be turned to violence with no chance that I can triumph? First I had to break the law to turn away the sharpest claws. In the twisted mouth of the shark, I will not be torn apart. Lately, I've been acting so crazy. I'm in my mind, but now lately, nothing here seems to faze me. I'm coming down tonight. I know it's all just an illusion. I'm in another dimension, but I was born only human, and I'm coming down tonight. I'm coming down tonight. Lately, I've been acting so crazy. I'm in my mind, but now lately, nothing here seems to faze me. I'm coming down tonight. I know it's all just an illusion. I'm in another dimension, but I was born only human, and I'm coming down tonight. I'm coming down tonight.
That's it for this week, and I hope everybody enjoys the music, and I hope everybody's liked this selection this week. It kind of gives me, this week kind of gives me that whole TV tunes, which, you know, everything can be put in there, but these songs kind of gave me more of the TV show tune, which I just happened to come together perfectly. So so that kind of worked out. Like I always say, I hope everybody has a great week. As always, look down in the description. Look at their pages, all the artists' pages. They deserve your love, and they deserve your. If nothing else, follow them on their social media accounts, their SoundCloud, their Spotify. Stream their music, download their music, and make sure you follow them on their respective social sites that they put on to find out what's going on in the future for them, because they want your love. Everybody here wants your love, which I say everybody is just me. But give them your love, and make sure you download their music, and just show them love and let them know what you think of their music, because they want to hear it. That's what we're here for. Is basically for you, the fan, to hear their new music, or hear their music of people you haven't heard before, and just let them know. So I appreciate everybody showing me. I can't believe we actually hit 200 subscribers, and which is growing probably by the time this airs. So I appreciate everybody's love on my subscriptions, and I hope to be able to keep this going. So I hope everybody has a great week, and I'll see y'all next week. So have a great one. Bye.